Israel is a small strip of land, but its history is enormous. It sits at the meeting point of Africa, Asia, and Europe. Long ago, traders, armies, and ideas all crossed through here. This crossroads made Israel important for thousands of years. Three of the world's great faiths, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, see this land as holy. For Jews, it is the ancient homeland of their people. Christians believe it is where Jesus lived, died, and rose again. Muslims honor Jerusalem as the place where the Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven. The land is also a symbol. It stands for hope, struggle, and faith. People throughout history have fought to control it. Each group left behind buildings, stories, and memories that shape the present. Understanding Israel means understanding how history, religion, and politics mix together here. It is a place where the past never disappears and the future always feels uncertain. Before the Israelites, the land was called Canaan. Ancient Canaan was a patchwork of city-states and small kingdoms. Major cities like Jericho, Hazor, and Megiddo traded with Egypt and Mesopotamia. These cities had high walls, temples, and bustling markets. Canaanite religion was complex. People worshipped many gods and goddesses. Temples and shrines stood on hilltops and in towns. Some Canaanite customs, like animal sacrifice and sacred feasts, would later find echoes in Israelite traditions. Egyptian pharaohs ruled Canaan at times. They built forts and demanded tribute. From the north, Mesopotamian kings also influenced the region. Canaan was never isolated. It borrowed ideas from powerful neighbors, mixing them with local ways. This mixture made Canaan vibrant but also unstable. Wars and migrations were common. Into this changing world, a new people slowly emerged, those we call the Israelites. The people who became the Israelites did not appear overnight. Archaeologists find that early Israelites lived in small hill villages. These villages grew up around 1200 BCE. Most villagers were farmers and shepherds. They built simple houses and shared wells. Many scholars today say the Israelites came from among the Canaanites. They spoke a Canaanite language. They worshipped some of the same gods at first. Over time, they developed new customs and stories that set them apart. Their belief in one God grew slowly. As these villages spread, a new identity took shape. Small groups united for safety and worship. Shared stories about ancestors like Abraham and Jacob helped them feel like one people. These stories were passed down for centuries. By the time of the earliest written records, the Israelites had become distinct. They were still closely linked to their Canaanite background, but their faith and memory would lead them on a different path. One of the most famous stories in Jewish history is the Exodus. It tells how Moses led the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt. The Bible describes plagues, miracles, and the crossing of the Red Sea. Moses receives the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai. Historians debate how much of this story is fact. There is little evidence of a mass escape from Egypt, yet the story is powerful. It speaks of hope, freedom, and faith against all odds. For Jews, the Exodus became a symbol of survival and God's promise. The laws given to Moses, like the 10 Commandments, shaped Jewish life. These laws stressed justice, mercy, and the worship of one God. They formed the core of Jewish identity and community. Every year, Jews remember the Exodus at Passover. The story is retold at family tables around the world. It is a story that shaped not just one people, but the idea of freedom for all. For many years, the Israelites lived as tribes. Each tribe had its own leaders, but they helped each other in times of danger. After facing threats from the Philistines and others, the tribes united under a king, Saul. David followed Saul. He was a warrior, poet, and leader. David captured Jerusalem and made it his capital. This city became the heart of Israel. It was both a political center and a holy place. David's son, Solomon, built a great temple there. The temple became a symbol of faith and unity. These kings gave Israel power and culture. Under Solomon, Israel grew rich from trade. People came from far away to see his wisdom and wealth, but peace did not last. old rivalries returned after Solomon died. The dream of unity was strong, but Israel was soon divided again. Still, the memory of David and Solomon's kingdom shaped Jewish hopes for the future. After Solomon, the kingdom split in two, Israel in the north, Judah in the south. This made both weaker. Foreign empires took advantage. The Assyrians destroyed Israel in 722 BCE. Later, the Babylonians conquered Judah and destroyed Solomon's temple in 586 BCE. Many Jews were taken from their land and sent into exile in Babylon. This was a time of deep pain and loss. Yet, the Jewish people did not fade away. Far from home, they kept their faith alive. They gathered to pray, told their stories, and followed their laws. This period shaped Judaism. Without a temple, Jews focused on the Torah, their holy book, and new ways of worship. Synagogues replaced temples. Rabbis became important leaders. Even in exile, the dream of returning to Jerusalem never died. Jewish faith, memory, and law kept the people together when everything else was lost. After Babylon fell, the Persian king Cyrus let Jews return home. They rebuilt Jerusalem and the temple, but freedom was brief. Greek armies under Alexander the Great conquered the land. Later, harsh Greek rulers tried to erase Jewish customs. This led to the Maccabean revolt and a short period of Jewish independence. Then Rome arrived. The Romans ruled harshly, crushing a major Jewish revolt in 70 CE. They destroyed the Second Temple and forced many Jews into exile. Jerusalem became a Roman, then a Christian city. In the 7th century, Muslim armies took over. For centuries, Christian and Muslim rulers controlled the Holy Land. Each era left its mark. Churches, mosques, and synagogues rose in Jerusalem. Jews, Christians, and Muslims all called the city holy. Yet, Jews often lived as a small minority, dreaming of return. The land's rulers changed, but the importance of Jerusalem and the memory of the ancient kingdom remained strong. For centuries under Ottoman rule, Jews lived in small communities, while most Jews were scattered across Europe and the Middle East. In the 1800s, Jews in Europe faced harsh discrimination and violence. Some dreamed of returning to their ancient land, a movement called Zionism. Jewish settlers began building new lives in Palestine. Arabs living there also developed a strong identity, and tensions grew. After World War I, Britain ruled Palestine. Jewish immigration increased, sparking conflict. The Holocaust deepened the crisis. In 1947, the UN voted to divide Palestine. War broke out, and Israel was born. Many Jews found safety, but hundreds of thousands of Palestinians became refugees. Peace talks have started and failed. The struggle for peace continues. Israel's story is one of hope and trauma, survival and struggle. For Jews, it is a land of memory, prayer, and refuge. For Palestinians, it is a lost home and a dream of return. Both peoples are shaped by the land's long, tangled history. The past is never far away. Ancient kings and prophets share the land with soldiers and politicians. Old stones and holy places sit beside new buildings and busy streets. Each generation tries to make sense of what came before. Israel is a place where history is always alive. It is a home, a symbol, and a battleground for two peoples who each see it as their own. Israel cannot be understood by looking at just one time or one people. Its story is layered, full of faith, loss, hope, and struggle. For Jews, it is the ancient homeland and a place of safety. For Palestinians, it is a place of memory and longing. The future of Israel and Palestine is still uncertain. History shapes every decision, every hope, and every fear. To understand Israel is to see the dreams and pain of both peoples. Israel is both ancient memory and living conflict, a land where history never sleeps.